Good evening, everyone. We are going to start the sixth webinar series of KCB Engineers Association. The topic is Power Factor Correction Capacitors, Challenges and Remedies. The presenter for today is Engineer Johnny PA, retired executive engineer. He has a very good experience in SVC, harmonics, HVDC, and many other subjects. So today, the topic will be mainly on power factor corrections and other things. Uh, we will wait for others to join. We can start in a couple of minutes. So in between, please follow KCB Engineers Association for our webinar series. This is our sixth webinar. All the other webinar series video recordings are available on YouTube. You can also find us at Facebook.
Knowledge is power. Use the power efficiently. Yes, it is powerful and strong. We should be powerful, knowledgeable to use the power efficiently. I hope your webinars, seminars, discussions help us to enable to use the power efficiently. KCBL and bulk consumers required to maintain power factor at 0.95 lagging as per CA regulation 2010. Consumers availing power at 33 kV and above are bulk consumers. And for these consumers and utility, it is a mandatory requirement. For others, like LT, HT, it is not mandatory, it is optional. But power factor penalty is insisting by KCBL for maintaining low power factor. Actually, I am confusion that if it is not mandatory or it is optional, how somebody can impose penalty? Maybe in tariff rule, the word penalty is not mentioned. They mentioned it as disincentive. Maybe this reason. And penalty is to discourage maintaining low power factor. And they are promoting energy efficient use by providing incentive for maintaining high power factor. Nowadays, energy cost is increasing year by year or once in 2 years. So saving has to be taken care of by the consumers and the utilities. It is generally achieved by mitigating power factor and thereby power factor penalties. It is a common practice among utilities and consumers to install power factor correction measures. What are the reasons for the low power factor? As we know, it is inductive loads, especially motor loads. They need reactive power also to deliver active power. Consumption of reactive power, of course, produces low power factor. Another reason is our power electronic devices. Power electronic devices or equipment based on power electronics are widely used to save energy, to reduce losses, but they are nonlinear loads. They draw distorted current, and distorted current produces harmonics. Harmonics produces the current harmonics produces voltage harmonics also, and both produces low power factor consumption. The existing power factor is further reduced because of the power electronics devices. Now here we are briefly discussing some basics, some aspects of power quality issues like low power factor, harmonics, power factor correction measures, its mitigation and challenges. നമ്മുടെ ഡിസ്കഷൻ ഇന്നത്തെ കുറച്ച് ടെക്നിക്കലാണ്, കുറച്ച് തിയറിറ്റിക്കലാണ്. ഹാർമോണിക്സ് എങ്ങനെ പവർ ഫാക്ടർ ലോവർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് പറയുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് ഹാർമോണിക്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് രണ്ട് വാക്ക്. ഹാർമോണിക്സ് യൂട്ടിലിറ്റീസിനും ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസിനും ഒരു തലവേദനയാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ. Till 1980, they are considered the load were generally linear. Linear means the load current follows the voltage waveform. Both were sinusoidal waveform. But actually now it is not correct. The reality is different. It is generally distorted. Distorted current generates distorted voltage and current generates harmonics. Let us see a linear load. The waveform, voltage waveform is red and current waveform is blue. It follows the voltage, both are sinusoidal, so no distortion and no harmony. We can consider the power diagram of linear loads. This is the load current, it is purely sinusoidal, no harmonics, and the load diagram consists of power P, reactive power Q, and apparent power S. And S is equal to P square plus Q square, square root of kilowatt square plus kV square. This is our power triangle. Actually, this is true only for right-hand triangle. But this is actually right-hand triangle shown in three-dimensional view. This presentation is required to highlight how the harmonics is affected. And P active power, Q reactive power, S apparent power or total power. And power factor is by definition how much portion of the total power or apparent power is available for delivering active power. So it is S is total power is P square root of P square plus R square, and power factor is P by S. As this is a right angle triangle, P by S is a trigonometric ratio and it is cos phi. Actually both parameters are different. One is how much portion of the total power is available, P by S. The other is trigonometric ratio cos phi. For linear loads, both are same, so we consider power factor is cos phi. Now let us see how we can improve the power factor. This motor requires active power, reactive power, apparent power, and all these requirement is drawn from the source or supplied from it. You can see the red is active power, sorry, green is active power, red is reactive power, and the total power is almost the double of the reactive power, or so the power factor is very low. We can improve this power factor by connecting a capacitor, and capacitor delivers some reactive power. It is almost considerably equal to the requirement, and the balance only need to drawn from the source. So the net power, total power or apparent power drawn is reduced, but the active power remains the same. The power factor is improved. This also you can see from the vector diagram. Q1 is the required, QC is the delivered, and the difference is only drawn from the source. So the power factor cos phi1 to improve to cos phi2. Now we can consider the non-linear load. Again, red is voltage, current is blue, it is highly distorted. We don't know how to handle this distorted, but we know to handle the sinusoidal waves. So our requirement is we have to convert this distorted wave into sine waves. The tool mathematical technique is applying Fourier analysis, fast Fourier transformation, so that it can be converted sinusoidal component. So it has a it will be having a fundamental or harmonic number 1, 100 cycle, 15 into 2 harmonic, second harmonic, 15 into 3 third harmonic, fourth harmonic, fifth harmonic. And the sum of these waves will be again the original distorted current. There are some peculiarities in these orders. If the distorted current waveform has similar half waves, positive half wave is similar to negative half wave, there won't be any even harmonics. 100, second harmonic, fourth harmonic will not be directly nullified in the analysis. Luckily, all our electric AC distorted wave have half cycle similarity. Another issue is, another peculiarity is triple N harmonics. Triple N harmonics. Triple means 3, N means any integer, triple N, so multiple of N 1, 2, 3. 3 into 1, 3 into 2, 3 into 3. So third harmonics, sixth harmonics, 9 harmonics, all are called triple N harmonics. Similar to symmetrical components, harmonics also have sequence components. One first harmonics, supply frequency is fundamental, that is harmonics 1, it is positive. Second harmonics is negative. Third harmonics is zero sequence component. Similarly, 4, 5, 6, positive, negative, and 7, 8, 9, all are repeating. You can see 3, 6, 9, all these things are zero sequence components. That means it don't have any phase shift. Even though the current has 120-degree displacement, this is a third harmonic. There are 3 cycles per cycle, fundamental cycle. So this is third harmonic. All the third harmonic components are in phase. So all the 3 in phase will meeting here, and the sum will be flowing through the neutral. So Kirchhoff's current law, the node current should be 0. So all the current meeting here should go through the neutral. The peculiarity of this triplet harmonics is to flow this triplet harmonics, we need a we need a neutral. If there is no neutral, neutral line, there is no way to flow the triplet harmonic. If that means if there is no single phase loads, there is no neutral, there will not be any triplet harmonics present in the spectrum. So here all the triplet harmonics will be avoided. Then balance will be 5th, 7th, 11th, 13th, like that. Instead of 6 pulse, if we use 12 pulse or 18 pulse or 24 pulse, again a lot of harmonics will be avoided. So let us see the power diagram of nonlinear load. The wave shape of nonlinear loads is distorted, so it will have harmonic component. And the power diagram consists of again power, kilowatt, kVAR, and a third new component, distortion reactive power. Instead of the kVA as AC, now it will be AD. And this is referred as true apparent power. It has influence of two factors. One is this displacement reactive power, another is this harmonics distorted due to THD. So this decides two factors. One is reactive power, other is THD. The sum of all these square, that is quadratic sum, it's called quadratic sum, is the apparent power through apparent power ST. And it is calculated for the quadratic sum of P square P dq. Here also the power factor is P by S, not P by ST, not P by S. The net power factor, true power factor will be based on these two influences. So power factor again is P by S, and one factor influencing is displacement power factor, it is equal to cos phi, other is distortion power factor, and it is equal to 1 divided the root of 1 plus u. It defines the THD is deciding distortion power factor, and cos phi is deciding, and the net power factor will be product of displacement power factor and distortion power factor. So actually all the measurement should be true parameters. Conventional meters are designed to measure only sinusoidal quantities. If we measure nonlinear voltages and currents with conventional meters, it will introduce errors and the result false reading. Most analog and digital meters are designed on average reading RMS calibrated. Actually, we know the RMS by average ratio, form factor 1.11. So if we measure average value and multiply it, we can calibrate, we can display it as RMS value. This is what our old conventional meters is doing. Actually, it is not true value. So another method is peak value. We know peak by RMS value, it is root 2. So if you measure peak value and multiply by 1 by root 2, the 0.071, it is displayed as RMS value. This assumption is not true for distorted waveform. It is only true for pure sinusoidal waveform. So only RMS meters are capable of accurately measuring distorted waveform. Let us see one sinusoidal waveform. You can see RMS value is 1. Its form factor is 1.11. That means it is purely sinusoidal. The peak is root 2, it is 1.414. And if we multiply this peak by 0.071, we will get 1. There is no error, it is perfect. But see the distorted waveform. Here, the peak is 2.6, RMS is again 1, average is 0.55. As per conventional meters, if we measure the average multiplied by 1.11, we will get 0.61 only, 0.61. Instead of 1, it measures only 0.61, minus 39% error. If we consider the peak 2.6 into 0.01, it is again recording 1.81. Instead of 1, it is recording 1.84. So it's for 84%. So this is the importance of using true RMS meters. And you can see some low residential loads having different, almost loads are around near unity, but THD of different loads are increasing. Simultaneously, distortion power factor also reducing, net power factor is further reducing. If you see all these things, the desktop computer, we have nearly unity, but its THD is 140%. So its distortion power factor is 0.58. True power factor is multiplied by these two, you will get 0.58 only. This can be, you can calculate this with our formula THD square, 1.4 square plus 1, its reciprocal and root, you will get these values. So by totally compensating the reactive power, displacement power factor can never be, it can be improved up to unity. But true power factor never become unity if harmonics are there. For improving true power factor, distortion power factor also to be improved. Distortion power factor can be improved only by reducing THD harmonic distortion. For that, we have to use some harmonic mitigation measures. That is to improve pure power factor, both reactive power and THD to be reduced. So now let us see the challenges. Power factor ഇംപ്രൂവ്മെന്റ് മെഷേഴ്സ് കപ്പാസിറ്റേഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ നേരിടേണ്ടി വരുന്ന ചലഞ്ചസ് ആണ് നമുക്കടുത്ത്. അതിന് ആദ്യം തന്നെ വേണ്ടത് ഹാർമോണിക്സ് കറന്റ് ഫ്ലോന്റെ അനാലിസിസ് ആണ്. അതിന് നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ഡിറക്ഷൻ അത്യാവശ്യമാണ്. ഇതാണ് ഒരു റിയൽ നെറ്റ്വർക്ക്. നമ്മുടെ വോൾട്ടേജ് സോഴ്സ്, this is source impedance, a transformer impedance is XT, bus bar and non-linear load is connected. This non-linear load is drawing a load current of 1000 amps and it is a harmonic source. No capacitor is connected to improve. So first without capacitor we are considering, and this is harmonic source. It produces fifth harmonic 30%. For the simplicity of evaluation, we are considering only fifth harmonic. So for 1000 amps load, 30% of it is fifth harmonic. 300 amps is injecting to the system. So here we have two sources. The previous is one source is nonlinear load, current source, and its symbol is as shown this one. This is voltage source, this is current source. So two sources are supplying this branch current. So how we will find out if more than one source is supplying current? The method is superposition theory. For that, we have to reduce the network. First, these are the two sources. First, superposition theorem says, consider only one source at a time, neglecting the other, and find out the current. Similarly, the second one. And the net current will be the sum of all these. But we are not bothered about the fundamental component. It is nothing to do with the harmonic analysis. So we are now always concentrating only the harmonic component. For that, it has to be further simplified. This is the current source, and this is the source impedance of the transformer, and this is the system source. This can be further reduced, and we can evaluate the current flow. Next, we are considering capacitor is connected. This also we have to simplify. An additional element is here. We are considering only current source. Simplified diagram. If we want to analyze the current flow in each branch we can consider this one, otherwise we can further simplify it. This will be useful to calculate the voltage across these elements. So now we have to consider two scenarios. First is our current flow in the capacitor bank due to harmonic. Other is harmonic amplification due to resonance. So overflow scenario we can consider now. This is the capacitor and we are injecting 300 amps. The current is dividing this one. The division will be inversely proportional to its impedance. And Xc is inversely proportional frequency 1 by 2 pi fc. So for harmonic components, the Xc will be very low and XL is proportional to frequency. So the XL will be increasing according to. So if the current division, so harmonic current through capacitor, one part will be flowing, another part is flowing through the inductor. The sum will be 300. This is less and sum will be 3. So what is the issue? It will, one current will be like this. This is also draw fundamental frequency current because it is delivering some kVAR. For that we need some current. That is fundamental current. It is drawn from the source, voltage source. This will be also flowing. The sum will be, capacitor current will be sum of harmonic portion and the load current. But the capacitor is rated only for this current. It's a load current. So it will exceed, the net current will exceed the rated current. We can see in the figure here also, the net current exceeds. So the inductor, one portion is flowing like this, the other portion is flowing like this, and the total here, the total current, fundamental and harmonic current exceeds the rated current, so it may damage. There is a chance to damage explosion. So the observation is, we can see the same two current, capacitor current and harmonic current are flowing through this one. Net current exceeds the rated current. Result is power current flow and through the capacitor, overheating, capacitor damage will be the net. Here, how to select suitably rated capacitor? That is little complicated because we can explain here. If we need a 450 volt 100 kVAr capacitor to correct the power factor, this 100 kVA will draw around 145 amps. The expected division of harmonic current through the capacitor we can exactly calculate, but for the time calculation we are assuming 100 amps. And the RMS value of net capacitor current including harmonics will be 175. 145 is the fundamental current of the capacitor for 100 kVAr and 100 amps for the harmonic portion, and the sum will be, it is not 245, it is written as 175 because in harmonic addition, harmonic current addition is not arithmetic sum, it is quadratic sum or RSS, root sum square, not RMS, root square sum. That means quadratic sum. 145 square plus 100 square, square root of it. But voltage will be ASM, arithmetic sum. For a harmonics, voltage summation should be arithmetic sum, current should be quadratic sum. To obtain 175 ohm, we need a 126 kVAr capacitor. If we use 126 kV capacitor, what will be the effect? Instead of 100, we are using 126, so it will overcompensate. Or voltage equipment damage, again another issue. So what we can do? The kVAr rating of the capacitor, delivered KVR is not fixed. You may be confusing that. I will explain it. KVR is delivered by a capacitor is not fixed. Its capacitance and reactance are the fixed parameters. For 100 kVR, 450 volt, the XC is equal to 1.7225 ohms. This will not vary. The MFD will not vary. But KVR is proportional to the square of the applied voltage. That means if we connect a 100 kVR capacitor for most safety, not to damage 480 volt or 550 volt capacitor, we never get 100 kVAr. You may get only 60 or 70 kVAr, which is proportional to voltage. So we can find out the voltage required to apply to deliver 126 kVAr capacitor by the same 450 kV, 450 volt 100 kVAr capacitor, and it is 465. That means if we purchase or specify a capacitor of the same MFD, same XC with the voltage rating of 465 volt, its delivered KVR will be 126, but its voltage current rating will be 170. That means if we select a 465 volt capacitor of the same, which will deliver 126 volt at 465 volt, and we are applying only 415 volt, we will get only 100 kVA, and its rated current is 175 amp. We can use this capacitor safely to hand 175, and it will deliver 100. So next issue is harmonic amplification due to resonance. Again, we are considering the simplified diagram. First, we are considering amplification of voltage. For that, we need voltage. Always we need to first calculate the equivalent impedance. For that, we are reducing this one. By this time, you can see this is frequency versus reactance curve of impedance XC. Frequency is varying, XC is varying because XS is proportional to 2 pi Fn. Frequency increases, XS increases. If we consider capacitor, its reactance is inversely proportional, that is 1 by 2 pi Fc. It is inversely proportional, but the sign is opposite, minus. So that will be this direction. You can see from this one at a particular frequency, if you change in these two parameters, XL is equal to XC and equal and opposite. This point is resonating point. To find out this resonating voltage and all this, we are further simplifying its equivalent impedance. We know to find out the equivalent impedance of two parallel components, R1, R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Here, XL, XC divided by XL plus XC. But we are not considering resistance because this is negligible. So we are again assuming X equivalent only. So X equivalent will be product of XC divided by XS plus XC, but it is opposite direction, so XL minus XC. At resonance frequency, XS minus XC is almost 0, and something divided by 0 will be very high. So the impedance at resonance frequency will be very high. This is the impedance versus frequency curve. As long as this term XS minus XC approaches 0, it is increasing, and at 0 maximum impedance, and again it is deviating from 0. Then this is a bell-shaped curve. If we allow some current to flow, here we are injecting 300 amps to this equivalent impedance. So a voltage developed is follows the same wave shape, frequency versus voltage. So the same wave shape. That means the voltage is amplified too much at the resonance frequency. This increased voltage is available both circuits, and both impedance are the same, and it's the opposite direction. So it will flow a current through this branch, and the opposite direction it will flow current in this direction. So a very high current will circulate within this. This is the resonance current. So it is very, very higher than the actual harmonic. That means the harmonic is amplified very, very highly. This is injected. This harmonic is injected to the source. So what will happen? This is high current will be here, and this current will be injected to the source. Totally amplified harmonics. So the result is, I have all explained the same one, and I presenting here in the slides. Just read it also. Any harmonics of this resonance, actually to amplify there should be something. If fifth harmonics is 0, you cannot amplify it. So even though the resonating condition is there, if there is no harmonics of that order is present in the load current, nothing will happen. No amplification. So to amplify harmonics due to resonance, we need two conditions. One, there is a resonance condition to the system, and that frequency harmonic should be existing in the harmonic spectrum. Due to resonance, voltage and current harmonics are amplified, and this we can visualize this. If we switch on a capacitor bank, if there is harmonic amplification, if we switch on some increase in PhD, if we observe it, that it indicates that the harmonic amplification is there. If we switch off, this will reduce. Reference curve voltages and current damage, capacitor damage in our current flow, even capacitor explosion may be happen. To avoid such adverse effects, suitable mitigation measures to be adopted. So the remedies are: first is detuned capacitor bank. You can see this is the resonating point of a particular system. Only capacitor is connected with the system, so it will have a parallel resonance. This system resonating at fifth harmonic. So we are providing a detuned capacitor bank. Detuning means we are adding in series with the capacitor a detuned reactor such that the tuning point will be less than this fifth harmonic, this resonating point. So here we select a 4.7 harmonic point frequency to tune this circuit. So if we tune at 4.6, that means at 4.7 frequency, harmonic frequency, the impedance will be 0. Net impedance will be 0. XL minus XC will be 0. This is impedance characteristic. At 4.6, the impedance is 0. Initially, the XL minus XC was predominant till this point, and after this, XL is predominant. So from here to here, it is inductive. From here to here, it is capacitive. The capacitive region, to have a resonance, we need a capacitor. So further the resonance point will be only lower frequency of 5.7. So here this point is this is the wave shape of frequency scan drawing of the system plus the tuned reactor, and it has two resonances. One is series resonance, it is represented here, and the parallel resonance point is here. So what happened here? Due to this resonating point, the peak point, resonating point is shifted from 6 to 4.2. At 4.2 is a safe point, there is no harmonic, nothing is there, because the lowest for a 6 pulse inverter, the lowest is 6. If there is third in single phase loads, it may be the third harmonics, the lowest one. Then we have to tune instead of 4.7, we have to tune somewhere here, 2 point something. So that this point as a whole shifted like this. Here, from this point, tuning point, the left side is reactive, inductive, and this point is capacitive. That is why this resonating point happens. So actually, this is intended to protect the bank. As this is low impedance at near fifth harmonics, there is a reduction of fifth harmonics also is there. But detuned capacitor banks are normally intended to use harmonics environment within the limit. Harmonics is not exceeded, it is within limit. But to protect the capacitor bank from resonating point. We can see that explanations here. By detuning, parallel resonance point is shifted to suitably safe lower frequency point. Power factor improvement and related benefits will be there. Minimum switching over voltage and switching inrush current. Resonating point is shifted to a safe position. No amplification. Above detuned harmonic order. Elimination of over voltage and equipment damage. Some harmonic elimination near the detuning point, mainly intended to protect capacity, not for harmonic mitigation in harmonic rich environment, because not much harmonic elimination will be there. The solutions are another. If we need to mitigate, if we need to use power factor correction solutions in harmonic rich environment, we need filters. One type filter is passive filter. Passive filter is nothing but the same, but it is tuned at the filtering frequency. In our case, fifth order. The other one is not tuned fifth harmonic. If we tuned fifth harmonic, this rating, current rating and voltage rating will be different, because it has to handle the harmonic voltage, it has to handle the harmonic current. Detuned bank is not intended to flow the harmonic current and are not intended to flow the take care of the harmonic voltage, so the rating will be less. So we cannot use the same design for the harmonic filter. A filter is connected, it has a normal load and a nonlinear load. This is low power factor, we need so improvement, so we have to connect the capacitor. So it made a single tuned filter for the fifth harmonics, and the harmonics current will be flowing through this one, because impedance for the fifth harmonics is 0 here. So the entire injector current will be flowing this one, and it will never allow to go this one, which is system, no current injection to this. So only fundamental current will be drawn from the system. Fundamental current for this, fundamental current for this, fundamental current for this. Harmonic source injected from this will be circulated. So the system is good. This is the simplified diagram. This is the equivalent circuit. Xc at fifth harmonic is 0. The entire current will be flowing this one. The negligibly small current will be flowing through this one. And no injection harmonic. This is the frequency scan diagram impedance. So we last time the tuned reactor will be tuned somewhere here. This is we are tuning exactly here. The impedance is 0. Here also there is a impedance resonating point, but there is nothing harm because there is no impedance, some harmonics, some other. We have to cross check it. This should not come third harmonic point. If it is a resonating point is shifted somewhere here, whatever available third harmonics is there, it will be available. So we have to cross check the design and corrective measures to be taken. Equal impedance at tune frequency is 0. Almost all harmonic current will be flowing back to the harmonic source through the filter. Harmonic current injected will be almost negligibly small. Requires, the problem is only requires detailed harmonic study. It's an economically justified solution for harmonic mitigation. Now, next solution is active harmonic filter. Active harmonic filter is nothing but an electronic device generating a signal equal and opposite to the harmonics content. So this is the nonlinear load in the speed. It is injecting, it is current is distorted. It is our supply source is sinusoidal. Its load current is distorted. That means it is injecting harmonics. What active harmonic filter is doing, it senses the nature of the spectrum, magnitude, everything, and it will generate a harmonic components of this content, this low current, and it will inject in the opposite direction. Mirror image will be generated and injected to this one so that both the harmonics are equally opposite, and it will nullify that. Here, this is the distorted current, and we are injecting mirror image of the harmonic content, and the result is your sign. Here, the difference is passive filter is absorbing type. Wherever there is any injection, it is absorbed and returned to the source. Here, it is generating some additional current which is opposite to the harmonics and injecting to this. So it is causes, it needs auxiliary power, it causes losses, very high losses, and it is not actually suitable for voltage distortion locations more than 10%. Even manufacturers will not recommend to use this at harmonic voltage harmonics, not current harmonics. Voltage harmonics more than 10 active harmonic filter is electronic device, uses electronic elements, need external power, operates with energy loss. AFs also need passive components like a capacitor and resistor. This inherent that capacitor helps to increase power factor, measures distorted current and harmonics, and identify the spectrum and wave shape, generate and inject equal and opposite one, and net power factor will be 0. More than one module can be used for higher ampere requirement. For reactive power compensation, additional current rating is required. Passive filter, the same filter can be used for filtration and harmonic mitigation. Reactive power compensation and harmonic mitigation. Here, if 100 amps mitigation is required, we need 100 amps active harmonic filter. If we need 100 amps power compensation current, reactive power, then again another 100 amps is required. So cost, this is highly costly. This is a costly solution. And above all, this is also a power electronic device. Of course, it is high switching frequency is high, so it also generates high order, maybe about 25th harmonic, maybe 40, 25, 27, like that. So some equipments are very sensitive to these high frequency, so that location is not advisable also. The advantage is not require too much harmonic study. So far we have considered various types of compensation and its problems and solutions. Still, there are another 2-3 varieties there. This is fixed compensation type only. For variable loads, fixed compensation is not that much problematic. We cannot complete. So for variable load, slowly variable loads, AFs, automatic power factor correction controllers we have to use. But that is also stepped compensation only. And if we need real-time compensation for dynamically changing loads, we can use thyristor switched, again AMF automatic power factor control with the thyristor control. Here also it is switched, where we need a smooth variation of compensation, active and reactive, both. Sorry, capacitive and inductive, both. We have to go for some advanced solutions like synchronous condenser, static var compensation, SVC, or StatCom. These things can be used to control smoothly 0.1 or 0.1 kVA, like that can be. Normal banks only switching step by step only, no smooth variation is available. Due to time constraint, we are not going to that topic. Our conclusions are reactive power compensation is inevitable to KICD and the consumers due to high amount of inductive loads in the system. Compensation can be done either at the LT side or HT side of the network. Harmonics are generated generally by the power electronics based equipment at the LT side. It will be reflected on HT side also. If harmonic distortion is within prescribed limits, no harmonic mitigation is required, but requires power factor compensation. While implementing power factor compensation solutions, harmonic presence of harmonics at the LT side, we have to take extreme care to see these problems. Standard capacitor bank or capacitor bank with a damping reactors should be avoided in such situations. Detuned capacitor banks to be considered. In harmonic rich environment, the harmonic distortion, that is harmonic distortion is very high, passive filter to be implemented. Passive filter banks reduces both reactive power compensation and PHD. That means both power factor, distortion power factor and displacement power factor can be improved. The result is improvement of true power factor. Alternatively, detuned capacitor bank for improvement of power factor and to avoid harmonic amplification, and then our active harmonic filter for reducing distortion. AF solution is costly and require additional capacity for reactive performance. These are, you can I think we can have our question.
Good evening, dear friends, and Joni sir. Joni sir has made a wonderful session, technical session, for the members as well as all the participants. And he refreshed our memories regarding the fundamentals of electrical engineering and give a lot of information about what is the challenges and issues in the network. And many industries already experience the difficulties of failure of capacitor banks when they are connected for compensations. The lack of detuned reactors. Now everybody is aware of that one. And we in KSP system also, there is a lack of proper power compensation. Every summer, we are experiencing a lot of difficulties due to lower voltages. And our systems also required installation of big capacitor banks. In that case also we have to think and understand that properly designed detuned capacitor bank shall be provided, otherwise we also will experience a lot of difficulties due to failures at various locations. Anyway, I would like to express our gratitude to Joni sir for making a wonderful presentation for all the participants here. Thank you, sir, once again for your wonderful presentation and your cooperation and support for this good webinar series. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.